Hey team, welcome back to the channel. So I've heard a lot of gossip and stuff going on and articles and whatnot about the upcoming Lord of the Rings TV series. So I thought I'd do a quick video and tie up all the information that I know into a little, here's what we know about the Amazon Lord of the Rings TV series. We know it's set to be the most expensive television show ever. In April 2019, The Hollywood Reporter estimated the production would cost $1.5 billion. But an industry insider has told the Herald that figure was modest, suggested it could have a $3 billion price tag. Amazon reportedly spent $200 million on the rights. Still comes with some strings attached. So I'll talk about a little bit about the Tolkien estate and what guidelines they've put down very soon. Of course, we know it's produced by Amazon. At the moment, they've been doing table reads in Auckland, but official production starts February 2020. There is a rumour going around that Amazon are having discussions with Sir Peter Jackson about a contribution of some kind, though nothing has been confirmed yet. According to Tom Shippey, a Tolkien scholar who has been working with Amazon to develop the series, he said the first season of Lord of the Rings will be a whopping 20 episodes long. Quite a few given the amount of money Amazon is throwing into this thing. So that's pretty much the basics of what we already know. So we know that Amazon is making it, but who exactly is behind the TV series? JD Payne, he's one of the lead writers. His previous credits include Star Trek Beyond and producer-writer for Flash Gordon. Patrick McKay, lead writer. His previous credits include Star Trek Beyond and also producer-writer for Flash Gordon. Bryan Cogman, the third lead writer. He's been producer for Game of Thrones and also had a cameo in Game of Thrones as a Dragonstone waiter. Lindsay Weber, one of the executive producers. Her previous credits include being producer for Overlord, Star Trek Beyond, 10 Cloverfield Lane, and Morning Glory. Bruce Richmond, another executive producer. His previous credits include co-producer From the Earth to the Moon, the TV miniseries, associate producer for Martin, and second assistant director for Fatal Instinct. Gene Kelly, another executive producer, known for being producer on Band of Brothers, The Boardwalk. Another executive producer, Gene Kelly. Her previous credits include being producer for Band of Brothers, The Pacific, Boardwalk Empire, and Westworld. Sharon Tal Yaguado, who, like I mentioned, is Amazon's former head of genre programming. Her previous credits include being producer for Outcast, The Listener, and Single Dads. Gennifer Hutchison, being one of the writers. Her previous credits include executive story editor for Breaking Bad, assistant to producer for Mad Men, being part of production staff for Grey's Anatomy, assistant to producers for Star Trek Enterprise, and assistant to producers for The X-Files. Jason Cahill, one of the other writers. His previous credits include being producer for Fear the Walking Dead, Halt and Catch Fire, and Fringe, and being a writer for The Sopranos, NYPD Blue, and ER. And Justin Doble, one of the other writers. His previous credits include being producer for Stranger Things, The Path, and Into the Badlands, and also being a writer for Stranger Things and Fringe. So we know that filming is going to be taking place predominantly in Auckland, but this is what else we know about locations. So we'll be shot across Auckland as well as filming on site in other parts of New Zealand over 5 years. It has been reported that a significant amount of filming will also take place in central Otago. Auckland studio space is limited, with other productions such as Netflix's Cowboy Bebop jostling for space. According to Deadline, the production will go on a 4 to 5 month hiatus after filming the first 2 episodes of Season 1. Showrunners JD Payne and McKay, with director JD Bayona, will use that hiatus to start work on Season 2. So the Tolkien estate, of course, they were paid around $200 million for the rights to make Amazon's Lord of the Rings. But that didn't mean it didn't come with some conditions. So this is what the Tolkien estate have put in place that Amazon must follow. The Tolkien estate will insist that the main shape of the Second Age is not altered. Sauron invades Eriador, is forced back by a Númenórean expedition, returns to Númenor. There he corrupts the Númenóreans and seduces them to break the ban of the Valar. All this, the course of history, must remain the same. But you can add new characters and ask a lot of questions, like, what has Sauron done in the meantime? Where was he after Morgoth was defeated? Theoretically, Amazon can answer these questions by inventing the answers, since Tolkien did not describe it. But it must not contradict anything which Tolkien did say, and that's what Amazon has to watch out for. It must be canonical. It is impossible to change the boundaries which Tolkien has created. It is necessary to remain Tolkienian. And apparently, the Tolkien estate have firm guidelines as to where it can take place. The First and Third Ages are off limits. You can't have the First Age. Events could be mentioned at the most if they explain the events of the Second Age. But if it is not described or mentioned in the Lord of the Rings or in the appendices, they probably cannot use it. So the question is to what extent they may hint at events that took place, for example, in the First Age, but still continue to affect the Second Age. There are several maps authorised by Tolkien, not just the ones we are familiar with, and some of those maps have places on them which are not in the other maps. But if Tolkien authorised them, then that's okay. So it's a bit of a minefield. You have to tread very carefully, but at the same time, there is quite a lot of scope for interpretation and free invention. So getting down to the juicy part, of course, we've got a whole bunch of actors that have been announced, which I will get to soon. But they've also been on the hunt for extras. So a lot of articles that I've been seeing has been mentioning Cam Talent, based in Auckland. So they've been putting out advertisements or articles looking for people that could play orcs, people that have character faces, and all that kind of stuff. Quite recently, I saw an article where they were looking for people with character faces, and if they fit the brief, transportation may even be provided. So I've gone ahead and submitted my application. So we're going to see what happens there. But other than that, this is what we know about the extras. So this is one of the biggest projects ever for Auckland-based casting agents Cam Talent. And it has been reported that they will need hundreds, if not up to 1,000 people, and will be required for more than a day's work. So like I said, there's not a lot that we know, and of course there's a lot of confidentiality and stuff. There always is in the contracts, and you can't go away giving too much stuff like some of the Marvel actors do. But yeah, you can pretty much release what you can. So yesterday, the 15th of January 2020, the first 15 actors were revealed. So I may not get every name right, and I probably won't until I start hearing it a bit more regularly. None of them I've heard of either, so I will run into what they've done to kind of give you a bit of an idea. But without further ado, here we go. Alright, so we have Robert Aramayo, who has been in Nocturnal Animals as Turk. He's been in Game of Thrones as young Ned, and in Galveston as Trey. We have Owen Arthur, who's been in The Palace as Jimmy Clancy, The Patrol as Taff, Babylon as Nobbo, and Casualty as Glenn Thomas. Nazanin Boniadi, who's been in Hotel Mumbai as Zara, counterpart as Claire Quayle, Homeland as Farah Shirazi, and How I Met Your Mother as Nora. Tom Budge, who has been in The Proposition as Samuel Stoat, Larry Crown as Stan, The Pacific as PFC Ronnie Gibson, and Son of a Gun as Josh. Morford Clark, who has been in Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, as Georgiana, Cruel as Birth, and The Call-Up as Shelley. Ismael Cruz Cordova, who has been in The Blood as Manny, Mary Queen of Scots as David Rizzio, The Catch as The Hammer, and Ray Donovan as Hector Campos. Emma Horvath, who has been in The 205th as Maxine Larette, The Gallows Act 2 as Yuna Rue, Like She Follow as Shell. Markala Kavanagh, who has been in Romper Stomper as Cindy, Picnic at Hanging Rock as Myrtle, The Cry as Chloe, and My First Summer as Claudia. Joseph Mall, who has been in Game of Thrones as Benjen Stark, Birdsong as Jack Firebrace, In the Heart of the Sea as Benjamin Lawrence, Troy, Fall of a City as Odysseus, and The Passion as Jesus. Tyro Mahafidin, I had a look, there isn't anything on there, so it looks like this young actor will be in his first gig. Sophia Nomveti, same with her, there was nothing in her credits, so it seems like this will be her first gig also. Megan Richards, he was in Wanderlust as Minnie Brooks, and Doctors as Audrey Steele. Dylan Smith, who has been in I Am the Night as Sepp, Maze Runner The Death Cure as Jasper, Into the Badlands as Jenkins, and in Lemonade as Daniel. Charlie Vickers has been in Death in Shoreditch as Andrew, and Palm Beach as Dan. And finally, Daniel Wayman, who has been in Gentleman Jack as Dr. Kenny, Foyle's War as Adam Wainwright, and Silent Witness as Max Thorndike. So as you can see on my left and right are our list of actors that have been confirmed to be in the Lord of the Rings TV series. Alright, so of course there's been some fan theories. We don't know if these are the stories that they're going to follow or not. What I've been saying to everybody who's been asking me about it on tour is I'm pretty much just going to wait and see. But one theory is it's going to be about the uprising of Sauron. And the other theory is it's going to be about the upbringing of Aragorn. Both would be pretty exciting to see. So we'll see what comes from it and see what gets announced. So Season 1 is expected to premiere in 2021. However, there have been no confirmed dates yet. And Season 2 has pretty much already got the green light, even though Season 1 hasn't even started filming. So that's pretty much what we know about the Lord of the Rings TV series. If you want me to do a video showcasing the actors a little bit more, then be sure to drop a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. As I hear different things and new things and whatnot, I will be compiling stuff and then bringing out a video. Again, of course, living in Wellington, New Zealand is quite a good thing. Auckland's, compared to the rest of the world, Auckland's up the road. But of course it's really not. It's like 10, 11 hour trip up north. But I'm nice and close-ish to the action. So anything that I sort of hear, if I get involved, all that kind of stuff, I shall bring it to you. And the only way you'll be able to see that is if you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell for all notifications. But nonetheless, that has been what we know so far about the Amazon Lord of the Rings TV series. In my opinion, I am pretty excited to see what happens. I know I don't know too much about these actors and stuff, but I'm hoping they do a great job. And no doubt, like I did with Lord of the Rings, where I studied that for 15 years, including The Hobbit, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be sucked into this and probably find out more about the actors as time goes by. But like I said, drop a comment below if you want me to do a video showcasing the actors a bit more, and you can catch me on the next video. But until then, I will catch you on the flip side.